Hey guys, welcome back. And if you remember in the last tutorial, last tutorial was in fact, the first tutorial. I introduced you to the idea of HTML, and in the future we're going to be going through also some CSS and most likely some JavaScript as well. And we're going to be developing a proper, fully functional website. In this tutorial, I thought I'd go through what paragraphs and headers are. So if you remember in the last tutorial, what we did was we created an HTML document called hello.html, and we had the opening tag as HTML, the head with a title in it which will show up in the website tab, and then we closed it, we inputted some text which says hello world, and we had a body. And overall it made something like this, so it just says hello world there. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to use paragraphs and headers. So you can separate different pieces of text, how you can make more pieces of text stand out, and have paragraphs as they should be. So when you're making a paragraph, the first thing you need to do is you need to use the tag P. So you're opening a triangular bracket or angular bracket, and you're putting P, and then you're closing it. And then at the end of it, /P as well. Oops. And that's how you made your first paragraph. Now let's say I want to go ahead and write another sentence, and I'll just say this is my second paragraph, and close this. And I'm just going to go ahead and make a third one as well. I'm just going to copy and paste this. And I'm going to call this one my third paragraph. So go ahead and file and save. Again, remember it's a .html file, so save it as that. And now let's go ahead and open up the actual file. And as you can see here, it says, hello world, this is my second paragraph, and this is my third paragraph. And there's a space in between, which is one line thick, I guess you can call it. So that's how you do paragraphs. Now, the next bit I'm going to show you quickly is how to do headers. When you're making a header, there are 6 different sizes of headers that you can use. It ranges from H1 all the way down to H6. Now H1 is the biggest header and H6 is the smallest header. So let me show you some examples of this. So I'm going to say this is the biggest header. I'll do H3. I'll say this is the medium header, and H6. Oops. H6, and I'll say this is the smallest header. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now if I open up my next thing, as you can see here, so we've got the 3 pieces of text that we had before, and the first thing you notice is this is the biggest header, that's an H1. There is no H0, and then this is the medium header, and this is the smallest header. In fact, this H6 is even smaller than the regular paragraph font size. So when we're making, let's say, an About Me page, then generally you're going to have a H1, which would be the biggest header saying About Me, the big, the big title. And then anything else you could use H2 or H3, which could be used as subheaders, for example. So let's go ahead and actually do that. So I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to say, in the body of the text, I'm going to say H1. I'm going to say About Me. And then I can have a in fact, let me have a H2, and I'll say, welcome to my page. And then I'm going to have a paragraph, which just says, welcome to carlsapser.com. This is the About Me section. Okay, so I'm going to have a paragraph there. Now I can then make another I'm going to make another header, which is going to be H2 as well. Consistency does look quite nice on a web page, so you don't want to have something, and H2 is one header and H3 is another and H4 is another, because it doesn't really look nice. If you're going to have headers, generally try and keep them the same. So the next thing we're going to have is who am I? Just call that. So we can make another paragraph, and I can say I am Carl, I live in the UK. And then finally, so that's who I am, yeah. And then I can make a final one, which will just say H2 again. And we can say my hobbies. And we'll make a paragraph. And say there are several hobbies I enjoy, such as tennis, badminton. Okay, and there you go. So now if I go ahead and save this, so what I've done here is I've gone ahead and made a header, the main header, H1, it's the biggest one, and then I've made a second one, which is H2, which is slightly smaller than H1, but it's H2 is like quite a nice sort of subheader to use. And within there, I've made a paragraph, and then I've kept the same size of the header to make my next subheading, and then similarly for my hobbies, and within them I've got small paragraphs. So if I open this up, it says About Me. Welcome to my page. Welcome to carlsapter.com. This is the About Me section. So this is the paragraph that I wrote. Now I said who am I, and then oops, I must have not closed this tag off. So as you can see, actually, this is a good example of where errors can occur. I've said over here, who am I, which is an H2 header, as you can tell, but my paragraph is in the same font size as my H2 header. Now, we don't want that. We want it to be as the paragraph text. So what happened is, this is because I simply forgot to close off the H2 tag. So now by closing it and refreshing the page, it says, who am I? I am Carl and I live in the UK, which is now a paragraph. And finally, my hobbies. Just to demonstrate to you all the other kinds of headers quickly, so I've shown you H1, H2, H3. So just say H1, header 1. Okay, so as soon as I refresh the page now, you'll see the different sizes of the headers that will appear. Okay, so these are the different types. So depending on what you want, generally this is the main header, and then you'd use H2 as a subheader because they're noticeably different. I would never really recommend you using H6 unless you're making some terms or conditions or something and you don't really want it to be visible very much, but you need it to still be there. So these are the different sizes of headers, and these are paragraphs. So that was the aim of what I wanted to show you, and if you have any other questions, then feel free to drop me a message down below or leave me a message on my website. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.